Hi guys, welcome back to another video where today we're checking out 3 Mark 4 Supras from 3 different brands and comparing them amongst each other. But before we jump in, if you are new, make sure to like and subscribe and also comment any more brands you would like to see compared on the channel. Jumping straight in, you can see the first model we've got is from Hobby Japan. Now, to start us off, we are going to be talking about the packaging and the way they are displayed. You can see that obviously it comes in the standard sleeve packaging, which I'm not personally the biggest fan of, and you can see it's got the Hobby Japan logo, the finest model car project, and obviously comes in the standard acrylic case. You can also see that it just has the Supra logo and no metal plaque or no indication of the model being numbered either. But in my opinion, this model is still displayed very clean and very nicely, as it's very simple. But on the contrary, you can see moving on to the second model, this comes in the more sturdy packaging with the plastic acrylic to protect the acrylic case itself, and the more sturdy plastic that doesn't get damaged as easy. You can see it's got all the warnings just like the Hobby Japan, this time having the TPC logo, and this one also comes with a figure as well. You can see all the logos on the side, the back and the front, very nicely displayed, with a card on the back also saying TPC and their logo as well. Now you can see an issue that I have raised before, and that is this model does come with a figure, and as you can see the acrylic case was slightly raised, so it was stuck in the box. But apart from that, you can see this model is displayed very nicely. It's got the metal plaque with it being numbered, and it's on more of a material base as well. Now, keeping to the theme of sturdier packaging and coming with a figure, you can see this BSC or Brie Scale Micro model is also very similar to the TPC in the sense of the similar packaging. Obviously, this one coming in the standard white with the black ribbon or the black stripe around the bottom with their logo, and obviously all the logos and warnings all around. Now, this is exactly what I meant by these models that do come with figures. They do tend to be a little bit too big for the base, as the plastic case for the figure makes the case just sit a little bit too high, which then in return makes it stick in the packaging and very hard to actually release and get out. You can see when the model is unboxed, it is displayed very nicely with a very similar display to the TPC, with the logo and it being numbered, also with a metal plaque and also the material base as well. Now, comparing these models directly in the sense of which one to buy is kind of hard, as obviously you can see the other two Supras, the Top Secret and the TPC Fast and Furious, come with figures, which obviously is a little bit unfair to the Hobby Japan. So with that in mind, we are going to be looking at the actual individual model itself and seeing how they compare and how each brand looks at each detail and focuses on each detail, which you can see obviously the two models that do come with figures are a lot wider, and proportionally they are very close to each other as well. What you can see though straight away is the contrast between the colour of the car and the base as well. The materialed white base does make the models stand out a lot more already than just the standard black base on the Hobby Japan. It also makes it look a lot more expensive and a lot more premium too. But enough about the models sat on the base, let's get them up close and see what the actual detail of the model actually is. So you can see, starting with the Hobby Japan, the headlights straight away caught my eye. Obviously you can see, I don't know if you can see really well on the camera, that the headlight housing isn't really sat very cleanly. But apart from that, the actual detail and proportion of the model is absolutely phenomenal. You can see the Toyota badge on the front and the rear super clear, and the Supra plate in the Supra font on the front as well. Obviously the black headlight surround isn't exactly fitted the best, but it is very clear, and you can see the tail lights are very well proportioned too. You can see this model is a screw base, so if you would like to change the wheels you can do that to something brighter, but you can see there is also a brake disc and caliper behind them. So again, continuing the detail. It's also got the indicators and all the lights on the front. But now moving on to the TPC model, which really does catch your eye, as obviously the colour really stands out, and as you can see, them bright yellow bucket seats on the interior really stand out. you can see the decals and the paint application is absolutely fantastic, and it really did catch me by surprise at how well it is done. There's not a single blemish, and the application is so perfect. You can see the wheels spin fairly well, and there is a brake disc and caliper behind them as well. You can see the spoiler is carbon, and the tail lights are very well done. All the colours in the lights, headlights as well, very well done, and they are sat perfectly in the surround and the housing as well. Obviously the surround also standing out with the black, and the body kit, the intercooler, the Supra plate, and all the carbon accents as well. But as we move on to the BSC model, you can see that again the first thing that does stand out is them bright red bucket seats, which, as you can see, or as you saw, the Hobby Japan model didn't have a very good interior, or didn't really have much of an interior at all. As personally, I think that is because they do focus more on the styling of a model and keeping the model very clean, very OEM, and making it just look very realistic. Now, that's not me saying that these models don't look realistic at all, but you can see that these models are a lot more aggressive and a lot more in your face. But with that being said, the proportion on these models are not bad at all. The paint application again is absolutely phenomenal, and the carbon effect on the bonnet is very well done, which you know I am a stickler for, as sometimes it can look quite bad on models. You can also see that the carbon accents around the model are very nicely done, and the decals are super clear as well. Again, headlights and tail lights very well proportioned, and they do sit very nicely in the housing as well. But with the models sat next to each other, you can see that the Hobby Japan does get overshadowed by the bright seats on both of the cars and the colour of the TPC as well. Now, that's not saying that the Hobby Japan model is bad in any way, because personally I do prefer the more OEM style and the more OEM look, so I do actually prefer the Hobby Japan car, although it does have the defect on the front light, which is a bit unfortunate. But you can just see each of the detail on these models are very well done. It's kind of hard to pick which is personally best in the sense of detail, because they all hold their own in each aspect. You can see the Supra badge on the back of each model, and you can also see the Supra in the font as well. Personally, I just think it's interesting to see how each brand interprets the car and produces their own version. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But let me know which one of these models is your favourite down below. Obviously you can see that these two on the end do come with figures, and I did purposely leave them out of the review for the sole purpose of making it fair and just about the car. As obviously with them coming with figures, it does play a huge part in which car you do purchase, as obviously who doesn't want a cool figure to go with the car. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But with that being said, I am going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.